Hi everybody, it's Sandy and it's time for the full moon rose reading, and today I'm somewhere different again. I am in Umbria in Italy, close by to a town called Spoleto, and I'm here on a writer in residency position for the remainder of this coming week. To have time to really focus and get settled with the framework of the new book. So it's an exciting time. I have two fellow writers and artists in residency here with me in Italy, and we've been having such amazing connections and such fun in our process, as well as, of course, focusing on what we've actually come for, which is to accelerate and give ourselves focused time in order to get these next pieces done. So I don't think it's happenstance that here we are on the 1111 gateway, and Mercury is due to pass in front of the Sun today. And this is an event that only happens 13 times a year. It's a rare event, and again, not happenstance that the three of us that are here on the writer's residency or the artist's residency all have Gemini ascendants, and Gemini, of course, is ruled by Mercury. So we are totally on it, so to speak. We're really feeling this shift. We're feeling the creativity and the communication that is coming through this whole process of presencing. So, hi Serena, hi. And just really obviously also enjoying the beautiful rolling countryside in Umbria. Actually, from the other window in this room, I can see Assisi just in the distance. So there's a dip in the rolling hills, and as the sun moves round, it's really fascinating. It goes over Assisi, and you can see the light playing on the buildings in the distance. So just an extraordinary spot to be. I'm sure that this was also on one of the main pilgrimage routes to Assisi. As I say, I'm quite close by to Spoleto and also to Perugia. This is an area that I've been to a couple of times before, actually. So I have a memory, I have a familiarity to it. But nevertheless, it is an absolute blessing to be here and to have this opportunity, have this wonderful window of being present to be able to show up for the writing. It's so much more tricky in our day-to-day patterns and commitments to actually have dedicated time. So this is such a treat. So, yes, we're here on this 1111 gateway, and this feels to be a really significant point. Hi, Renee. Hi, Susan. Hi, Sass. To be looking at how these energies are rapidly upshifting for us, and how this journey of Saturn on the face of the Sun is illuminating our communication. It's illuminating our creativity. It, in some ways gives us an opportunity to perhaps reflect on our words. How we share ourselves, how we show up. So, beyond that, tomorrow we get our full moon, and our full moon is in Taurus. And it's at 19 degrees of Taurus, and in the UK it's at 1:34. Of course, in Italy here we're at an hour ahead, so it's 2:34 and in the afternoon. And in the US on the East Coast, you're into mid-morning. Another potent full moon, another opportunity to look at what's coming to culmination, what is coming to closure, what is coming of this journey that you've been on this far, that is calling for an okay, this is done, I can release this now. And the full moon brings us into that focus, brings us that opportunity of reflection. And this time there is also a feeling that we're in a process of illumination. So there is a light that's being shone on the deeper aspects of ourselves. Perhaps there's some more aspects within your own shadow self that are coming to be released, coming to be observed, coming to have resolution, perhaps coming to have full acceptance. You know, I found myself here in Italy, and you know, there was another wave of trigger that came up for me around an aspect of my own journey that I'm still in a resolution process with. And then it's like it's niggling. It doesn't go away. It doesn't subside again into the pot. It sits and it continues to niggle. Continues. Hi, Lisa. To bring that point where we can't ignore it. We have to sit with it. We have to be fully present with what is coming up in order for us to get the nugget of gold in what's being revealed. And that might not be very comfortable. We really are being called to see, fully see the different aspects of ourselves, fully see who we are, you know. This process of taking us into 2020 with clear vision, a clear place in which we see our gifts and our challenges, and we can then make the choices that enable us to live more fully from the heart and to the true nature of what we came here to share. I really feel that this last 20 years, the window of opportunity from 1999 to 2019, which is a closing out cycle now, has been about revealing the deepest aspects of our soul evolution that we came to resolve, and also what storyline came through our genetic coding that we uniquely, absolutely uniquely, had the capacity to hold and the capacity to find resolution for. These are just extraordinarily potent times. Hi Rakaya, hi Lynn. It's just wonderful that you're all on the call live today. So let's see what the roses might have for us as wisdom for this coming full moon tomorrow. What can we take in to this full moon on the wave of the Mercury transit in front of the sun that can bring us illumination and can give us the insight of what this full moon has for us as a gift. So we're asking for the wisdom of the roses, and particularly for this full moon in Taurus. So the first rose that's come up for us this time is Rose Angel 4. And this rose sits on the third eye, and she is the rose angel that calls us to forgiveness. And this is absolutely gorgeous because certainly for me, this is one of the energies that I've been really focusing on in my own process in this last few days. What is calling for resolution? what is calling for another lens of perception on an issue that we've been dealing with. And you can see that this rose is actually really quite in, she's wanting to say something. There is a depth in this, almost like an eye or a mouth here, where something is needing to either be said or there needs to be a different understanding on something that you've been processing. Interestingly, you can't make this stuff up, can you? This rose is called the Pilgrim, and I'm on this Via Flaminia, this route between Assisi and Rome, or one of the routes between Assisi and Rome. So there is this pilgrimage to love, there is this pilgrimage to self that we're all on at some level of our journey. And what I've come to understand is that forgiveness is one of our most powerful allies in being able to let go of the past. And forgiveness isn't about forgetting. Forgiveness is in recognizing that what needs to be let go of allows us to travel lighter, travel as light, travel lighter in our journey. So this rose is calling for your attention in anything that's coming up, particularly in this next 24 hours, that is calling you for a deeper level of forgiveness for yourself and for the other. And one of the ways that I've found, one of the most potent ways in which you can work with the roses and the rose heart message between you and another, is to visualize that rose between the two of you. Perhaps be able to cup her energetically in your hand and visualize her between you and the other, that you still have threads of energy charge around. So she's a beauty for us to be working with at this point. Hi, Hawaida. I can imagine that you're beaming in from Cairo. We're an international group today because I know that both Lisa and Renee are in from New Jersey, and I'm here in Italy, in Umbria. You can see, I think, the rolling hills behind my window here, and I'm sure there's several in from from the US as well, in the UK as well. So thank you, Haida. Thank you. So we're wanting our second rose with a message for us for this full moon in Taurus. And this rose that's come forward now is Rose Bagua 7. So Rose Bagua 7 actually is the rose that I did the rose focus for our Rose Circle online group. We've been working every week with one of the roses. And hi, Kasha. So this particular rose is the rose of creativity. And she is the one that's calling us deep into the essence of ourselves to say, what is it now that is creatively calling you forward? This rose is like a spota. She's like a seed point where the heart of her has like this chaotic explosion. And she says, I am unbounded joy. What is it? What is it that I'm calling forward as my creative essence? So perhaps yes, I know, Serena, it's sort of quite surreal that actually she's come up on our group reading. She's the rose of the week in our Rose Circle online, and here she is. She's come up in the reading. So this is a magical manifestation, if you like. Hi, P. So yeah, this place of creative play, how often can we allow ourselves to just be playful. And this is such a blessing for me to be here and have time to just explore what's needing to come through now in this next phase of the work. And I heard this morning that the print run for the second edition is on target for the end of the month, and so that was a bit ace to have affirmed as well. So this is just a beautiful rose for us to be looking at. What is it now? What is it that's calling you as a creative expression? And so let's have a look and see what the third rose is that is forming a keynote of the next phase of our process, and what is being invited. This is an invitation for this next piece of the expression for us. And if there's pieces that are being called to be released, what is your blocking creativity? What is the piece that you need to bring attention to, and you can release? It will have fulfilled its purpose. It will have fulfilled its task for you in this Taurus full moon. Let it go and bring in this next phase of your particular expression. And the third rose in our journey with the roses today is Master Rose 2. And she says, I am abundant. This is one of the I am roses. The last set in the original rose deck were the qualities of the awakened and empowered heart field. And they came together and called themselves the Rose Ma roses. And they are all I am statements. And this rose is a rose that's called Papa's Crown. And she is just like effortlessly abundant. I can keep on creating. I am effortless manifestation. And she's quite a unique rose visually in the deck. Some people are drawn to her and some people not. She's a powerful rose in a rose mat, a really wonderful one to work with if you are working with manifestation. She's a wonderful rose to set a grid out on, so perfect as another flavour of our work in this coming time. This is beautiful. So our first rose that came up for the reading today, Rose Angel 4. She really calls us to forgiveness. And when we forgive, there are two levels to it. There is the intellectual. I know this is good for me and I can, I can let this go. But when we drop it to the heart, what is released is a block within the heart field, and it allows more of the divine light to flow in. It allows more of your higher soul self into manifestation, and it brings in more light to illuminate your pathway forward. And as I say, she's called the pilgrim. When she opens, the outer rim of her petals is white. The center is just a very complex rose in golds. So a very beautiful rose for us to work with. Actually, all of them today are actually multi-petaled roses. They're not simple, they're exuberant, they are expansive. And here we are. This is Rose Bagua 7. Creativity. I mean, at one level, of course, you can see that this is also connected to children. This is connected to procreation and our expression into producing children, but it's also about activating and working with the childlike nature of pure creativity. We are connected, we are creator, creatrix energy, and when we bring our full higher soul self present in the body, our creative manifestation is effortless flow from the time we arise to the time we go to bed. We are here to be creative agents of light. And whether that's gorgeous, yummy food, whether that's a book, whether that's art, whether that's just creating beautiful space, these are so many different aspects to it. And here she is. I am abundant. This is how I hold my essence. So I invite you, if you have the Rose Oracle deck, to get these 3 roses. You can work with them just tucked in against your higher heart field. You can put a glass of water on one or all of them, and to take this energy as the energy imprint, the signature of these roses imprints itself into the water. Drink it and allow the energy to work with you at a cellular level. You know, this is about being the rose. This is about walking her pathway. And there you are. There are 3 roses for today. And once again, this is beautiful Umbria, and I'm extremely blessed to be here with such amazing, a very, very talented artist who was born in Damascus, that lives in Nicosia in Cyprus, and his name's Adi Atassi. And Melissa Heckers, who is an incredibly talented writer, also living in Nicosia. So we're quite an international group, because Ralph and his wife, or his partner, who own Casale Flaminia. Ralph originates from Germany, and Francesca is from Rome. So it's just beautiful. I'm very, very blessed to be here. And now I'm going to go back to my writing. So thank you for joining me. I hope you have a very powerful day. See what comes up for you in this portal, whereby Mercury is going to pass in front of the sun, and that will lead us into our full moon in Taurus. Grounded, rooted, the moon is exalted in Taurus, and this is a powerful journey. Love and rosy blessings from Umbria. Bye for now. Bye-bye.